What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Sniper HvH, back at it again. I am interviewing two individuals today. Introduce yourselves, please.
Hey man, first of all, I want to thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. After such a long time. It's been around 3-4 years. So thank you for reaching out. My name is DarkkLight. I'm also known as the owner slash founder of MG4L.
Hey, what's up? I'm Ski. I'm the co-founder of MG4L. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Welcome, welcome. What made you interested in HvH instead of just playing normal CS:GO?
Uh, Luckily, want me to answer this or?
Yeah, you answer it.
Well, I remember using Easy Frags and getting banned in like 2 games, and then after that, like my family was actually poor and shit. Like I was poor as well, and I couldn't buy a new account or buy like CS:GO again. So I was like, dude, like, what do I do? And I went to the community servers tab and I put non-vax secure and that's how I found it. And I seen people were rage botting, so I went ahead on YouTube and like searched up rage bot cheats and found pasted free cheats from there. And yeah.
Okay, now what about Dark though? How did he get introduced to HvH? Or no, when did he wait?
Dude, like I got vac banned from I was using like a shitty like wall hack cheat, like something off like Reddit or something, and I got vaxxed, and I'm like, all right, so let me just play with the fucking. How can I play with a ban account but like still play? All right. So like then I saw like community servers and shit, so started getting into it and just started cheating. Saw servers like HvH, and I just joined them. That's it.
Wow, bro. Who were the players that inspired you when you were starting out?
A lot of people. I mean, everybody knows like Zane. Zane was pretty up there. Uh, Flush, Fusia, um, Zane, Fusia. A lot of people like Tea Time. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple more I just can't remember. Michael from Amor.
Yeah, that guy's a G.
Now, what about Ski?
For me, well, I didn't really know that many people when I first started. Like I was kind of a kid, but there was 2 people. I think it was IEJ and this one guy named Slow. That's about it.
Interesting. So now, what year do you think was the peak slash golden era of HvH, and why?
Definitely 2021. Um, there was a point where there was 32 people versus 32 people in Lucky's HVH server, and that was the peak. Everybody was on one tap or skeet, and yeah, it was quite fun. But like everybody was on like 1 FPS, so it was kind of lit. If you had a good PC, like you do well.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure who won the stack, but it was mostly Brazilians, Portuguese people, Europeans, and they'd all just come on North American servers. And I think the most popular was North America in terms of stacks and the most active player base.
Okay, now what about Ski?
Uh, yeah, honestly, I'd say the same. Like, like the most fun I had would probably be desync. So like 2022 to 2023, 2021. Like
Interesting.
before that, honestly, like it was just all cheats and better anti-aim. No better cheat or better anti-aim, but like desync, like I don't know, like it was all about movement, who's faster. You could argue like fake duck exploit and double tap is like cringe and all, but definitely had like it just took more skill.
That's great. So, what was HvH like before it became mainstream as it is today?
Yes, yeah, I think you know more on this one.
Wait, what?
What was
What was the question?
HVH like before it became as mainstream as it is today?
Mainstream like before what timeline?
Now, like I can say I can answer this, I think. Like, dude, back then, like it was like just mostly standing still, and there was no double tap, so like you just stand still. Everybody would in fake angles, it'd be just like mostly standing still, dude. Like you wouldn't really be like moving around, double tapping and shit. So you just mostly stand still. And when it got popular, people started getting better, obviously, because a lot of people were playing. You know, there was a lot of like one versus one or two versus two servers, and yeah, that's how people got good at the game. They just play 1v1 or 2v2. They'd learn the maps at first, like nobody knew any of the maps, right? Because nobody played them. But eventually, people started learning. People started posting videos on YouTube, and that's how
Yeah,
most people learned.
Hmm.
yeah. There was still that batch though that like knew the maps and shit, but there's also like there was probably 80% of HVH didn't know shit.
And like mostly people learn from YouTube, like people like making media on other people, like on 2v2 or 1v1 or 5v5, and they learned from YouTube how to play the map because nobody really knew how to play.
What were the biggest differences between 2016 HVH and 2020 HVH?
Skis
Um,
guys.
well, I don't know. The biggest difference would probably be like the play style, the exploits, how anti-aim worked, and the modes. To be honest, I mean, 2016 was mostly like no spread. You know, like spread would usually like there was some spread servers, like community servers, but spread would usually be played on like only an MM. And 2020 was just like you know, anyone cheating in MM would just be like semi raging. It wasn't really full on HVH. There was still some HVH, but like, you know, those were just like loser randoms.
Okay. Um, what do you think made the old HVH community special?
Um, I
Mm,
think it's the matter of your age, how old you were back in the day. I think a lot of people were quite old, like in their 18, 16, 17. Yeah, I think that was a major difference. And then they started growing older, and they eventually left, and then new people like started joining, like kids and shit. Like the kids kind of ruined the game, but like that's how it is.
Yeah, so
yeah.
um becoming known, when did you realize people started recognizing your name in the community?
Um, I think the more you played, if you kept the same name, like you'd go with an alias like I did. It was DarkkLight with two Ks. And yeah, if you just performed good in the game, like you'd be top frag every single game. Like there was only a couple servers back in the day, like when we played, when Double Tap was around, there was two main servers. There was Deadpool's HvH and Lucky's HvH. Two pretty like popular YouTubers. I'm sure you've heard of them. They used to make like legit cheating content. So yeah, they own two servers, and if you just did good, and I mean sometimes people spoke on a mic, and you'd recognize somebody's voice. But like if you did good every game and you were at the top, I think a lot of people would know that you're a good player and you'd stand out more often.
Okay. So, what was your biggest achievement or proudest moment in HVH?
Ski?
Uh, honestly, honestly, it was all like a big waste of time. And but to be honest, it was when MG4L beat Maverick. And what is it? Signal was actually in the call, and he actually was wanting us to alias as him because Zane, if you know him, I'm sure you do. Zane disbanded him a long time ago, like back in the 2017-16 days. He dropped Signal on his head. So yeah, the Signal guy wanted revenge, and MG4L was like, "All right, like we'll do it for you, bro. Just like give us alpha and free subs for one tap." And yeah, we 16-0'd them on assault, and yeah, that would probably be the biggest achievement. It wasn't really for him beating Maverick for Signal. It was mostly just like beating Maverick in general, because they were on top of the game for quite a while. But
I think we beat them on
yeah,
short dust. Short dust. We beat them on dust. Original dust.
D Dust, yeah,
This was back in like 2020, 2023. He wanted to play with us, but like we told him because he's out of the game for so long. He's actually a pretty OG player. Started playing like 2017, 16, 15. But yeah, since he was out of the game for so long, he wanted us to alias, and we were like, all right, fuck it, might as well. Yeah, that's the story. And
Wow.
we beat them, and they started freaking out and shit. So yeah, that shit was crazy. Like back in the day, like it was really fun, and it was a big moment when people saw that video. Like it was like our reputation went up even more as MG4L, as the leader. Like I had to keep inviting more people so it'd be more popularized. But yeah, it was quite good, quite good. And
Yeah, so
actually, I invited Ski in uh, 2019 or 2020 to MG4L, and ever since then, he's been co-leader, and yeah, just taking over the game.
yeah.
You know how it is, bro.
what match or moment made you think like I'm actually good at this, right?
Yeah, I think back in the day, like I told you, 2v2 and the 1v1 Discord servers, there was a lot of them, and there would be a leaderboard, obviously, and if you beat one of those players, you'd get a lot of Vila. So I think if you beat them, it'd be like, damn, I'm actually better than I thought. And then you start becoming more famous day by day, the more games you played. And yeah, I think that's what made you more popular.
Now, how did you build your reputation back then?
You got this, kid.
Um, Reputation. Let me think. Like honestly, back then it was all about being a good player, and if you didn't have that to offer, it was being a script coder or making entertaining videos. And yeah,
In general, you just have to be nice.
Hmm.
I think that
yeah,
was the
or
biggest.
just have something to offer, or be an OG player, have a low UID. Like sounds pretty unreal, but they like
That's how it was.
yeah.
Who were the hardest players you've ever faced?
Uh, Probably Europeans. I think they were out of the game. I think in America or North America, a lot of people were behind because Europeans played more, and they actually invented a couple new strategies on each map. So I feel like the Europeans definitely not a specific player because HvH is quite luck based. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that, but I'd say the Europeans for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so who do you think were the most underrated HVH players from that era?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like I feel like there was many people. One of them, I feel like the only guys that were really good. I don't know why you're laughing, but I feel like the only guys that were good were trans people or like gay people, the guys who dated their own gender. I don't know why you're laughing, bro. Like
Yeah,
that is the truth. Like that is the truth.
yeah.
And
That
specifically,
is also another topic about HVH back then. But yeah, my bad. Keep going, keep going.
I'm gonna be honest. There was this guy named Amor, and in Europe there was a guy. And stop laughing, bro. Making me laugh. In Europe there was a guy named Lore. All right, so these guys. I remember we were all in the one tap team in these days. We actually represented OneTap.com as the North Americans, and we were quite known. Like if somebody saw us using Everlose, they'd be like, "What the hell? Don't you got OneTap Alpha? Like, shouldn't you be on OneTap, right?" So these two guys, these two like trans people, they used to use Neverlose at the time. So they were actually quite close to us, but we'd beat them and they'd get pissed off and shit. So this guy, I feel like the one of the underrated players would be Amor, but only because he was a faggot and he used to date his own gender or e-date, whatever you want to call it. That's what he would do. We'd be playing on community servers at like let's say 3 a.m. like we were just doing now, but with you, Sniper. We'd just be playing together, and this guy, like his boyfriend, would call him, and he'd just leave the call. So like we couldn't really call him like our boy, because he was a faggot. We don't fuck with that shit. Like if you're a faggot, like I don't know, we just don't fuck with that shit. And nobody really respected him. Guy was a complete clown. He also dated a bunch of people in North America. I can name some people like Ryumi.
That's insane, bro.
What are you saying?
I'm so sorry, bro, but that's oh my god.
All right, chill. Like I'm trying to finish my So, are you laughing, bro?
I am wallahi, I am so
Okay,
sorry.
listen.
Keep going,
Listen,
bro.
that's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to finish. I'd say the North Americans that he dated was, like I said, Ryumi. He was actually. I don't know why
He
you're
was
laughing.
also
'Cause
another underrated player.
Wallahi, I'm not even laughing
Just-
at you, bro. Just
that,
keep going.
the guy was
Keep
just he was just in the call with us. We treat him like our own now. The guy was a faggot. The guy was a faggot 2 years ago. I would really like pay respect to this guy, but he's a faggot, and he dated some guy named Amor. There was a guy named Toby. A lot of gay guys, and these gay guys would actually be really good at the game. If you no, like I'm being very serious. I don't know why you're laughing.
going.
I'm being very
That word is just kind of killing me. Like, I'm sorry.
yeah.
I know
I
you're
understand.
trying to explain something, but that's just
These
killing
guys, these faggots would play the game all day, and they'd be really good. We as normal players, like we used to go to school and shit. We'd be playing till 2 a.m., but we got school tomorrow at 7. Don't laugh, man, please. Because it's a serious thing, and it's like it was an epidemic because these guys started doing that gay shit. They put other people on, so that was a big problem in HvH. A lot of people were gay and shit. Like, and some
Yeah,
people would
100%.
question their sexuality even. Like, are they straight? Because I don't know. We're all kids and shit. So I feel like a lot of people did that for sure. Not anybody in MG4L, of course, because we never interacted with those type of people. Of course, we were friends with the guy. Like I said, his name was Amor, Amor, also known as Love in another
In
language.
English.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the guy was just a faggot. I'd say he was a good player, but he was a faggot. He ruined his life over the game. So I'd say he was pretty good. There was a guy named Ryumi, the guy we was just talking to a couple hours ago. I'm sure you were here, Sniper.
Yeah,
that
I
guy.
think so too. Yeah.
I'd even say shout out Signal. He was a moderator on one tab. He actually stuck up a crown up his ass for an invite. No, like I'm being serious. That's what he was known for.
Yeah, let's just move on to next question. Yeah.
Okay,
No?
so were there any Rivera right? Oh my god, I'm gonna send you
enemies.
this. Okay, how do you pronounce it? I'm sorry.
Rivalries.
Were there any rivalries in that community members that stood out to you?
Stigma.
Yeah, I'd say that guy. It was some autistic Indian kid. We never pay attention to these guys, but he actually had some sort of fame. He was just slaving for Skeet.cc. He recently got exposed, I've heard on Twitter. I don't know what's going on, but it's between him and Esoteric. I don't know. The guy was just pretty much a slave. He'd work his ass off. He'd play all day, report bugs and shit. But yeah, we didn't fuck with him, so we'd obviously always play against him in community and try to prove that we're always better, or that we're the better opponents. Me and Ski, in fact, we actually 2v2'd him back in the day. And it was actually not
Yeah.
Ski, it was a guy named Threat.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, me and Threat, we played him and we won. And the guy would just always deny it. He was that type of guy. He wanted to save his reputation and shit. The guy was weird. He was Indian. What can you do? So autistic like
Happens.
yeah. I mean, we beat him. He'd say no, it's not me, and because he was the bigger name at the time, obviously people would believe him, right? So yeah, that guy. A lot of people, even Signal back in the day, he wasn't our friend. We'd actually go up against somebody in 2020, 2021. He actually came to me personally and he said sorry and that he wants to join it.
Wow, that's amazing. So, what was the most memorable HvH game you have ever played?
Ski's got this one.
Uh, it would probably be I don't know which game it was, but like there was a time where like you'll never know it's the last thing you do until like you realize it's the last time, but I don't remember, but it would probably be the last time we 5v5 the BRs.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Those days, actually, me and Ski personally, we played together. He used to be one of my main guys on MG4L lineup and 5-5.
Yeah.
So it would be me, Ski. There was this guy from Brazil named Rudzim, and he'd actually play on 120 ms with us, right? Against his own friends. That's how loyal he was to us. There was a lot of other people as well on our team, but I can't tell you off the top of my head. It's been a couple years, so. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wow. So, how important was having a good config compared to actual skill back then?
Oh, back then it was everything, man. If you had a good config, a lot of people would sell configs, and it was very popularized. Actually, back in 2017, this guy named Joe, he's the one who invented config selling. He used to sell his configs on Aimware. So yeah, a lot from then people started selling their settings. That's what you call configs, right? A lot of people started doing that, and it was a lot of money involved. I know a lot of people that made over six figures, myself included. I'd say maybe like 10, 20,000. Not that much, but as a kid, it's a lot of money. Yeah, I'd say it was very impactful to have a good config. That's why people would buy configs more often back in the day compared to now. I definitely say
Yeah.
back then it was very
100%.
important. But now it's playstyle.
100%.
You see all these guys playing really fast and shit. Now I'd say definitely playstyle compared to back then where everything was really slow.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, what separated average players from the top players in the old days?
Say it again. Sorry.
What separated average players from the top players in the old days?
Honestly, the average players, would just be like the people you log on and see in community, and like the top players would, get on after going to school, going to work, whatever it was, they would get on late night, middle of day, afternoon, and grind out 2v2, 5v5, 1v1. Like community was just like a thing to like, I don't know, to be honest, like just test your
Time
visuals out.
waste. Yeah, it was a time waste.
Yeah.
I'd say a lot of people uh, they used free cheats. They were like kind of shit. It was like a free kill. But if you paid for a cheat, obviously, and you knew a lot of other people, I think you'd learn a lot faster. So that was definitely it.
Yeah. And honestly, stacking. Like that was the only other reason for community. Stack versus stack, like the 30v30.
Interesting.
But other than that, yeah. Average players would just be on community,
Mm-hmm.
and top players just grinding out competitively.
Mm-hmm. Now, how much did playstyle matter compared to resolver, anti-aim, and just settings?
Back in the day, I feel like playstyle, not really, man, because I think Ski has more experience on this. But in 2016, 2017, 2018, when faking was a thing, you just stand still, and
All cheat. Yeah, everything would be cheat.
yeah, there was no playstyle. But when Decent got
Desync
introduced,
though, yeah, like desync was a different story.
Interesting. What was your approach to improving as a player?
Um, Honestly, I would take criticism from my friend here, DarkkLight, and like a few other people. Like I would realize like what like some things I would be doing would be, like a bit dumb. Like I would play a certain way that wouldn't make sense. I would do certain things like can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but like I would try and fix that right away, or if it was something in my config or like something, weird keybind I used, I would try and switch it up, see if it helped me, or if I like, anything like that, I would just go like see how what other people are doing, what my friends that are good and or better than me are doing.
Yeah,
What was the most chaotic moment you've witnessed?
I'll answer this one. I feel like our stack against Maverick and a lot of people actually MG4L versus a lot of different players. Uh, we were North American and we'd have really low ping, and like I said before, there was only two American servers that were quite popular. And I remember on Lucky's in around 2021, I actually have a video of it as well, where there was a stack 32 players versus 32. That was the server limit. So there were 64 people. And I remember myself, there was like maybe 20 people sitting in spectator. And if you didn't have a good PC, you couldn't really play. So the leaders would tell that guy to fuck off and shit, get off the team so somebody better can join, right? And there was a
Yeah.
lot of admin abuse. Admins were banning, and specifically me. I actually got banned in that. There was a vote. I actually got banned in that stack, and that's why we lost. That was the major reason why we lost. I was doing the best on the team, but unfortunately, the guys banned me, and yeah, we lost
Wow.
that one. But yeah, I'd say we caught on in the future though. A very sad moments.
Mm-hmm. So, what is something about old HVH that newer players will never understand?
Uh,
Ski got this.
uh, how the community was, you know, just like it was just way more
Mature.
fun.
Definitely more mature, I'd say. Like I told you before, a lot of older
100%,
people played back in the day, so definitely mature.
Yeah. When you say back in the day, like I'm going from the time frame of like 2016 to like desync like 2022, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like throughout that whole time. But yeah, like yeah, no, as Dark said, like 100% more mature.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
What do you miss most about the 2016 and 2020 scene?
Uh, Probably mm, just everything, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just getting on, like loading up my cheat, seeing how like nice the visuals looked. Like loading up my favorite map, playing that 2v2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the answer.
Wow. Do you think HVH is better today or was it better back then?
I think this is a no-brainer back
Oh.
then, like 2016 to 2023. But as I said before, like my favorite meta would be like the desync meta, so I'd say desync,
Mm-hmm.
which would be like the years 2020 to 2023. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. If you could bring back one thing from old HVH, what would it be?
Uh, Old HH, like
Yeah.
into what?
Yeah, just skip this question. I don't think
Okay.
it's a good.
Okay. We can
Yeah.
skip this question. Who do you think had the biggest impact on HVH history?
I can answer this one. I think it's quite obvious. There was this guy named Shark Laser.
Yeah, I was just thinking this. Yeah, yeah,
There's this
yeah,
guy named
yeah.
Shark Laser in late 2018. 2018 or 20. I don't know. I think it was 2019 or 20, December
20.
of
It was like
2018.
end of 2018.
Yeah, definitely December of 2018. He actually wrote a letter to Valve stating what's going on with the current meta and the current game, and he got fake angles patched. That's when
Yeah,
DC
just
started, so that
yeah.
was definitely
Basically, he just told Valve like how to fix it as well.
Huh.
Not
Interesting.
exactly, but like he explained like the in depth of it,
Hmm.
and yeah, because he was a cheat dev himself.
Wow. How do you think people should remember the 2016-2020 HVH era?
definitely, man, the golden era of video games, I'd say. As I'm quite
100%
old now.
golden era.
I'm quite old now. I used to be a little kid back in the day, but definitely times to remember, man. It's been so long. Doesn't even feel like it was 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Ski year started pretty long ago, so it's been around 10 years. Doesn't really feel like it, man.
Yeah, definitely
Definitely
not.
the days we'd stay up when we had school tomorrow in the
Yeah,
morning,
like
but we
it's
stay
summer break right now, but back then summer breaks we just be inside sweating our asses off, playing all day, all night, sleeping from like 7 a.m. to the afternoon to wake up and just keep playing.
Do you have any stories from that era that nobody really knows about?
Yeah, I think a lot of things. I don't know. It's not something specific that comes to mind, but maybe Ski has something to share.
Uh, what do you mean? What was the question again? Sorry.
Let me see. Do you have any stories from that era that nobody really knows about?
Uh, um, let me think here.
Yeah, I think that's a hard question. I think maybe that's for the next episode.
Of course.
Definitely.
Do you think we're done here, or do you want me to ask you the final questions?
Yeah, I think just nah, nah, I think I think
Okay.
done pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And that was Dark Light and Ski with Sniper HVH.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
All right.
See y'all
Nice.
later. Bye.